Hello everyone and welcome to Carol's Knitting Bookshelf, where I review knitting books from two perspectives, as a knitter and as a professional tech editor. Now today I'm reviewing a book published by my friends at Search Press that's been sitting on my knitting table for a little while now, and I have to say it's one I've really enjoyed spending time with. It is Grand Shetland Adventure Knits by Gudrun Johnston and Mary Jane Muckleston. Now, I'll be talking about the patterns themselves, obviously, how they're presented, the techniques included, and of course, whether I think it's worth adding to your knitting bookshelf. So pop the kettle on, grab your knitting, and let's have a look inside. The first thing that strikes you is just how beautiful this book is. The photography is absolutely stunning, and it's one of those books that makes you want to keep turning the pages. It's just beautifully laid out with gorgeous images. Here's one of the garments set against the Shetland landscape. How beautiful is that? But, and this is important, it's much more than just a coffee table book, because inside you will find 14 patterns, including sweaters, cardigans, accessories, and colourwork projects, all inspired by Shetland. If you're familiar with Shetland knitting, you'll probably recognise both authors. Gudrun Johnston grew up in Shetland, so the islands are very much part of who she is and where her design inspiration comes from. Mary Jane Muckleston is well known for her colourwork knitting and teaching, and together they host knitting tours around Shetland. You really get the feeling that this isn't just a collection of patterns. It comes from two people who genuinely love the islands and want to share that enthusiasm with everyone else. Now, I will admit something. Whenever I get a new knitting book, I often head straight for the techniques section, and this one didn't disappoint. So rather than assuming you already know every technique, the book includes clear instructions for several methods that aren't always covered in knitting books. So we have afterthought heels and thumbs, because that's used in a pattern, backward loops cast on, blocking, various ways of blocking, crochet provisional cast on, that's really handy, and because it's used in a book, it's included. German short rows, very helpful. German twisted cast on, one of my favorites. We've got grafting, other sorts of cast on, mattress stitch, fagata, which people don't always know how to do. Now, importantly here, we have steeking. Steeking is used, which you would expect in a book like this, but it gives you the options for machine knitted steeking, hand stitch steeking, or even crochet steeking. So this is going to give you a choice depending on your confidence and your equipment. We've also got 3 needle bind off or cast off, wrap and turn short rows, even how to yarn over at the beginning of a row, which is again is something people don't always know about. But they're not just to fill pages, they're techniques you're actually going to use in the projects. So even after you've finished knitting from the book, it becomes a really useful reference tool. Now let's talk about the patterns. This is the part where my tech editor brain starts analysing everything. I'm probably more critical than most people when it comes to pattern writing, but I'm pleased to say these patterns are excellent. Let's just have a look. We have construction techniques here, and this is one that does use steeking. So you've got a whole load of information about how the actual cardigan is constructed. In terms of the sizing information, it's really clear. We have a whole host of measurements here which can help you decide which size to make. We have 9 sizes there, and it also explains how much ease it's designed to be worn with, and that's something that can catch initial knitters out, because you have the finished size of the garment versus the size of your body, and the ease is the difference between the two, and it's really useful to know how it's been designed to be worn. The material section is really clear. The yarn is all listed there, not only how much to get, but how much they actually used of a certain type of yarn on the item itself, which again can be really useful, particularly if you want to swap yarns. We have all the notions that you need, the gauge, pattern notes throughout, and I found this one really interesting. This pattern note down here is talking about where the floats should be in relation to each other, the main colour and the contrast colours. And that is all about yarn dominance, which is again something that many knitters might not even know about, but this explains how to get it right first time without being too technical, which is wonderful. Okay, so there's all the instructions, some lovely images and more instructions, and then we have ta-da, the charts. And what I love about these charts is they're color shaded. I'm not that keen on when you get charts and all they are is black and white, or they have symbols on them to describe the different colors, but these are all color shaded with a particular key there using the colors that are recommended in the book. So as both a knitter and a tech editor, I really appreciate the level of detail that's given here, because it gives you confidence before you've even cast on. Now I know you're going to be saying, Carol, you need to show us the patterns. So I'm going to have a quick whiz through the patterns in the book, and here we go. We have this wonderful cake fridge hat. Okay, we have the Stanleydale scarf in a single colour. Booster socks, they look beautiful in those lovely sort of mustard and blue tones there. We have the Lucky Lines pullover, island to island vest, Piri Shop cardigan, which is the one that uses steeking. We have the Riggies cardie. Riggies is interesting. It's what the ridges in garter stitch rows are referred to in Shetland knitting. So there you go. We have a V-neck sweater, which looks absolutely beautiful. We have a cowl with some lovely colours there. We have a flower hat with a lovely bubble on the top. Some snow treasure gloves, gorgeous colours. Heritage yoke sweater. These are some of my favourites. Downstairs socks, they're called, and it's all because this particular author runs around a lot in her socks in the guest house where they stay, but they're beautiful. And finally, the Verdeck shawl. So there you go. You've now seen all the patterns. This is more than just a pattern book, though. One thing that really surprised me was just how much I enjoyed the travel stories. There are 4 of them woven throughout the book, and they really bring the whole collection to life. You get a glimpse into the places that the authors love, including the guest house where they stay, dramatic scenery around that area and all the cliff walks you can go on. And one of my favourite things is here. The story is called Cliffs and Cakes, and it's about the famous roadside cake fridge. Yes, it's an honesty box fridge where you can stop and buy homemade cakes and sweet treats. How wonderful is that? It's these little stories that make the book feel warm and personal. And the section on Lerwick reminds you that it's far more than just a quiet little harbour town. It's got excellent museums, a performing arts centre, dozens of locally owned shops, and lots more. So it's great stories. They make you feel as though you're travelling through Shetland alongside the authors rather than simply knitting their designs. So, would I recommend this book? Absolutely. It's beautifully produced, the patterns are thoughtfully written, and the techniques section is genuinely useful. The travel stories make it feel like much more than a knitting pattern collection. So if you enjoy colour work, love stranded knitting, or simply appreciate books that combine inspiration with excellent technical detail, I think this is a wonderful addition to your collection. In fact, by the time I'd finished reading it, I wanted to do 2 things. First of all, cast on a new Colourwork project, and secondly, book a trip to Shetland. I can't really give a knitting book much higher praise than that. If you've already got this book, I'd love to know which pattern is your favourite. And if it's now on your wish list, let me know in the comments as well. In fact, if you join my newsletter list, you can purchase the book with 25% off for a limited time, courtesy of my friends at Search Press. All details on how to grab your copy are in the description. Thanks so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel wherever your knitting takes you this week. I hope you enjoy every stitch, and I'll see you next time. Happy knitting!